Okay, so hi, my name is Roxie, and I'm a brain longevity therapist certified with the Alzheimer's Research and Prevention Foundation. And today we're going to practice Kirtan Kriya. And Kirtan Kriya utilizes primal sounds that have been used by yogis and people who have been meditating for a very, very long time. And it is a practice that the Alzheimer's Research and Prevention Foundation has thoroughly studied to have, and the research of that longitudinal study resulted in scientifically verifying its positive impacts in memory retention and also boosting the immune system, helping to improve epigenetics in general, and as well as helping to reduce stress and improve sleep. And it has a lot of very kind of positive impacts. So we're going to sample it a little bit for you to see how this works. And the primal sounds are sa, ta, na, and ma. And these sounds are chanted repeatedly as we practice them in that order. And they come from the foundational mantra of Sat Nam, which means my true essence. And to get started, come into a comfortable seated position that allows your spine to be nice and straight. And we're going to be tapping every finger to our thumb as your hands rest on your lap, or if you're seated in a cross-legged position, on your knees. And as we're practicing these primal sounds, sa, ta, na, and ma, you can imagine this kind of L shape as the syllable comes in from the crown of your head and then exits between your eyebrows, also sometimes referred to as your third eye. And so it'll look and sound like this. Sa, ta, na, ma. You'll tap every finger to your thumb from your index to your pinky, and we'll repeat the mantra for a minute. Okay, so we'll begin in your comfortable seated position. Relax your gaze, and then let's start with a nice big breath, taking a deep inhale through the nose and a slow, complete exhale. And then bring your index finger to your thumb. And then we'll begin to chant together, beginning with the sound sa and ending with ma. Sa, ta, na, ma. Take a deep breath in and we'll begin on the exhale. Sa, ta, na, ma. 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 And relax. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale through your mouth. And then let's interlace the fingers and stretch your arms up over your head and add a little side bend, side to side. And then relaxing your arms down by your side. All right, so that was a 1-minute introduction into Kirtan Kriya, our yoga meditation that helps improve our memory and has beneficial impacts on our immune system overall. Okay.
Woo-hoo. Awesome. That was great. So I think, teaching this it's going to definitely come naturally. And I hope that people are really receptive to it. Because I work with a lot of graduates who teach it. And so I sort of take them through some things. And just, I mean, you'll meet with people several times. You don't have to tell them everything that first time, right? Because a lot of times I like to say, this meditation has been around for thousands of years, but we've been studying it, like with proven research backing it for the last 2 decades. And the way they do this is through the brain scans, right? There's actually proof that this is working. A lot of people feel better after it, but now we have the data that shows, well, it's making positive changes, right? With like the telomerase, the 43% increase, especially in a medical community. That's like amazing. So it's always a good pointer for them because these people love that sort of information, and it's a good selling point for you too.
Okay.
Um, and then just make sure that when you explain the meditation that you sort of tell people, we'll do the 2 minutes, the singing, chanting, the 2 minutes, the whisper, 4 minutes silent, and then back out 2 minutes, 2 minutes, right? So that helps them. Um, I have a lot of people who think that they're supposed to keep their arms up. And
Mm-hmm.
I get it when it's in a virtual setting, that's super helpful for people to
Mm-hmm.
see, but I love that you remind people to keep your arms rested on your legs, even from a chair or on the ground. You don't have to have your elbows in the air,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that was good. Um, what else? And people really struggle with the visualization. So if during it you can also remind people, like, whenever you lose focus, bring your breath back to this satanama, right? With each time, whenever you go somewhere, try to bring it to the visualization. And some people find it helpful when they sing it to the tune of row, row, row your boat. So, and it all depends on, your students, but there are some tricks that you can use to help guide them along.
Okay. Row, row, row your boat.
Yeah, it's like,
Ta, nama, kind of like something like that.
yep,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that's easy for them to sort of get into the swing of, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I actually have something that I've based on my notes that I would put together as a presentation in case my clients referred me to like a group to test like a group of doctors and see how they feel and do 12 minutes with them. That
Mhm.
definitely goes over kind of neurogenesis and discusses the compound structure of the telomeres
Great.
and I took some really great notes from those initial modules that talked about the brain, which is something that I had learned about actually in graduate school. So
Funny.
I'm very familiar with talking about kind of different, the limbic brain and, your rational brain, your amygdala and how that all works. And what I learned from this training was like just the in-depth kind of neurobiology
Mhm.
of those telomeres and the stress hormones and kind of how the accumulation of plaque and things. And so I feel very comfortable putting together like a little
Yeah.
presentation that culminates in a full 12-minute practice. Um, what I what I was going to ask you is, should I have a song? Like, should I download the song that we used in a previous Zoom practice, or like what do you find works best to help? Because I don't like the sound of my voice, and I know
Mhm.
people in the beginning will be very kind of self-conscious.
Yeah.
And if there was music background that was,
Yeah.
singing and whispering and then being silent, then people might be more apt to join.
Yes, that is definitely the best way. People
Okay.
feel more comfortable, when it's not just their voice. And the music is great because it leads them through. There's a little bell, and that tells them, okay, now we're whispering. Now it's silent. Do you have the music?
I don't think I've downloaded it yet. It says, let's see, you can order. I know that there was like a link in my notes. I'm looking that there's like a link that I should go to get it.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So this is the foundation's music. So download it and you're free to use it with any of your students or classes. We just ask that if they want the music, you send them to our website.
And they can purchase it. Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
But
will
for
do.
you, use it as much as you like, but if people want it for
Okay.
themselves, please send them back to us.
Okay. And then the 4 pillars, I feel very comfortable talking about stress management, exercise, and spiritual fitness. I
Mhm.
feel less confident talking about the diet and the supplements. And so I wanted to ask about, how can I kind of introduce that in a way that I'm not certified to talk about
Right.
nutrition. I'm not a nutritionist, and that whole, like, the modules regarding diet and exercise, it was so overwhelming. There's so much information there.
Yeah.
I could really use some help being able to kind of summarize just the depth of information, and then present it in a way that just is like a very kind of impactful
Right.
summary of just piques their interest.
Right. So,
One thing that stuck with me is when the female doctor presenter was talking about, like, part of the reason of why we're recommending supplements is because we're not getting enough in our diet because the quality of food has gone down,
mhm,
and the quality of the soil and these sorts of things. And I really liked how, that rationale is grounded in that, just like,
right.
okay, so the quality of our food had, and then people don't really argue with that. That's evident in,
Right.
the difference between organic food and non-organic food and that sort of thing.
Yes. So this is a great point, and actually, we made a whole peer-to-peer program on this topic. So I can find that for you. Basically, people have to be really careful because you don't want to go out of your scope of practice, right?
Mhm.
People cannot be prescribing things if you're not a doctor or, a
Mhm.
qualified healthcare professional. However, there are still great things you can consume that should have a positive effect. So we always say you can make suggestions, like simple suggestions, with the fact that you tell them, talk with your doctor about it first, right? Always s- talk with your health professional. But these are some things you can look into, like turmeric. That shouldn't really be a problem for most people, right? And
Mhm.
we want to reduce inflammation as much as we can. So I know there are some supplements that you can tell people, hey, go look into these, do your own research on these. These have shown to have good results. They may be for you, they might not be for you. As far as food, everybody is so different. Also, it's hard to say what's going to work for each person, but as far as like organic foods go, the less toxins you introduce to your body, the better, right? Um, they're also more expensive, so
Mhm.
they're not as easy to come by. But there is evidence that red meat is not so good for you. So if you can cut back on some red meat, we know that sugar is not good for you. Try,
Mhm.
try to reduce certain things. You don't have to say, well, this is what you should be eating 3 times a day. You could just say, well, let's try removing some of these things from your diet and see if you feel better,
Yeah.
sort of.
Okay. That's great, because
It's
I
huge.
did
It's a huge
summarize
subject.
kind of the brain longevity diet
Hmm.
and the idea that food is medicine. And also, it was introduced as a set of guiding principles, which I really like. So I made some bullet points of what that was. So, eating well, buying organic when you can, moving,
Right.
the meditation, healthy socializing, fasting if that works for you, eliminating GMOs, and picking lean, clean proteins, and cooking consciously so that you can eat mindfully.
Right.
That's kind of how I
That's a good place to
summarized it.
be. Yep.
Okay. And then
Totally.
I would talk about that within the context of, like, the 4 pillars. So the first pillar is nutrition. And I actually wouldn't want to talk about nutrition right away because I'm less confident in talking about that. I'm much more confident talking about the benefits of like physical exercise
Right.
and cognitive training and the management of the metabolic cardiovascular risk factors, segueing into nutrition kind of like at the very end.
That sounds great.
Okay.
And
Um,
so I have a few announcements for you as well.
okay.
First, congratulations, because you did it.
Yeah.
It wasn't so bad, right?
No, it wasn't so bad.
So there's a few things that happen next. I'm going to get you your official certificate. We have a nice one from ARPF for you. I think you already have the graduation kit that's got the logos that you can
Mhm.
download and put if you've got a website or anything like that. I'm going to activate your membership.
Okay.
So we gift the new students or the new graduates a year's worth of free webinars and everything that pretty much comes with it.
Mhm.
If you want to, what's it called? Go up a tier. We have another membership called Scholar.
Mhm.
And so we have monthly peer-to-peer programs and
Mhm.
it's only about $6 a month. So if that's
Oh,
something you're interested
great.
in, I'll send you
Yeah.
more information.
Okay.
It's been really cool. Some of our graduates are just amazing. And so we come up with topics people want to know more about, and then we find speakers and they throw together a program, and it's very like interactive, and people are, you know, kind of like collaborating with each other. It's sort of about networking and learning and using this community as much as you can. So I'll send you more information on that. You should be getting our Brain Buzz newsletter, which is just for graduates. I also, for the ARPF's, the main newsletter that goes out to like, I don't know, thousands and thousands of people. I think we've got almost 20,000 contacts. So that goes out monthly also. And I like to do spotlights on graduates. So if you ever want to get a spotlight done on you. So for graduates who use this information in their career or even their personal life, just how it benefits them,
Mhm.
I do little articles on them. And so it goes on our social media, on our blog, and in our newsletter. So if that appeals to you, let me know
Yeah.
and we can get it set up.
Oh, that would be great. I'd love that.
Yeah. And so it's good to get a few pictures,
Mhm.
because that's always better to look at something that has photos.
Yeah. I have a website.
And so if you go once I activate your membership on arpf.com, you will be listed in our directory. So if you make your profile in our directory look nice, you can put your website, you can put your
Okay.
headshot, because we
Okay.
we don't ever give out people's personal information, but we'll
Mhm.
link them to their directory so they can send you a message if they want.
Okay. Perfect. That sounds great.
Is that everything? Oh yeah, and Yoga Alliance. You're in Yoga Alliance?
I stopped paying for it
Okay.
because I'm shifting more towards Pilates and becoming more of like Pilates yoga fusion. And so I didn't pay for it for 2022. Is that something that I should do, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter to me.
Okay. Okay. That's how I
I
heard about this training, was through Yoga Alliance.
Yeah, so I was gonna get you set up with your hours, but if you don't need them, you don't need them. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not solely yoga anymore, and I'm making most of my money teaching and fusing yoga and meditation. I'm also a certified breath coach. So, the breathing stuff, and I've been doing Kirtan Kriya for a long time. I was just
Sweet.
kind of on my own.
Yeah.
So I was very attracted to this program right away.
Yeah.
But I'm more of like fusion now, with a heavier emphasis on Pilates. So that's why I stopped paying for
Okay.
Yoga Alliance, because there's so
Okay.
many there's so many things, and so I had to budget.
No problem. So then
Okay.
I won't be sending those hours over,
Yeah.
but that's fine. And so I'll send you another email too with all of this information so you have it with your
Okay.
certificate. And if I think of anything else, I'll add it in there. But otherwise, I think we're all good.
Okay, super.
Mhm.
I just had one more question, and that
Okay.
was regarding the longitudinal study. And the longitudinal study, it's a bit dated at this point. Is there any other, like, are there continuing studies? Is there anything that's more recent that I could refer to a group of, medical professionals that I might be presenting to?
Yes, so our latest study is the Pink Brain Project. Um, and if you go to our website, alzheimersprevention.org, you can go
Mhm.
to our research tab. So let me pull this out. And we published a new research on spiritual fitness this year, and a new white paper as well. So,
Oh, good. I'd love to see the white paper.
and that's for free. You can go on and download
Okay.
it for free. It's all in our store on alzheimersprevention.org.
Okay.
Yeah, if you go to journal articles under the research, you'll see everything.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well,
Okay.
definitely stay in touch and let me know how it all goes, and then we'll get you set
Yeah.
up for the spotlight and everything. It would be great.
Okay. Thank you so much, Chelsea. And I really appreciate
Welcome.
the extensions that you've given me. I've been spending so I work full time, but I'm also I've been doing my Pilates training continuously. So the mat to the reformer to the apparatus, and I finally completed all of that. So
Great.
I've had just so much going on and catching COVID twice.
Oh,
So it was like it's a lot.
a lot.
And I'm also a mom, so I really appreciate
Yeah.
your patience with me, and I'm very excited to just put this to practice, and I'm grateful for the program.
Yeah, well, thank you. We're happy to have you here. So we'll see you hopefully at upcoming events. We've got a lot coming in 2023, so I'll keep you in the loop.
Okay.
But
Okay.
great.
All right.
Well, good luck
Thank
with
you.
everything.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.